Hi, I'm Melanie Gabby, and welcome to my Change, Grow, and Transform series designed to help you live a more abundant, fulfilled, happier life. And so, this series, I'm releasing a topic every day, a theme to help you look at an aspect of your life and develop some tools and information to guide you on that journey. So even if currently right now everything's okay and you're happy on your path and you don't feel as though you need to make any changes, that's fine. Sometimes we need to have those experiences where everything's working out okay. And you might just tune in and listen to this for knowledge. But if you want to go deeper, then this is what the book series is about. The videos are about 5 minutes long, but the books go with each of those days and the topic that I cover so you can go deeper. And they also have some journal prompts. If you want to go even deeper still, you can access therapy coaching or my group coaching program where we explore any of these concepts depending on what's happening in your life. They are more personally sort of tailored to each individual. So the key ideas that I share with you have emerged from my areas of interest in psychology, spirituality, philosophy, and even the latest information on brain research about what supports us to move from surviving struggle to thriving and even flourishing. And many of these ideas and books that I've read over the years have made a difference to how I understand myself and other people in the world. And sometimes have even totally shifted the trajectory of my life, and the way that I live life now is very different from maybe even the one that I could have even envisaged a few years ago. So on a very basic level, I just hope to share information that can inspire and support you as you grow. We're going through massive changes in society, and there's a lot of people on the different platforms that share information and guidance. But I know from my experience and training that you have to do quite a deep dive, whether that is through clinical experience of meeting the same people with the same issue over and over again, whether that's alcohol, addictions, personal development, or workshops designed to do a particular thing. Is coming into contact with people all the time is how we grow and develop in our own language and create that into wisdom. So there are people who purport to know something of a subject, but actually may have not gone that deep themselves. So part of this is about helping you connect with your own sense of discernment and connecting with, does this information really align with what I think, what could help me? And to be the master in your own life and breaking free from the limitations or ideas that everybody else out there outside has the answer. My role often is to facilitate people to develop that awareness for themselves, grow in confidence, and even start to implement things that can help them move forward and even transform into either the person they want to be or become more authentic in their sense of self and live happier lives. So it's different for everyone, and I meet people at different phases of my own journey as well. But what I'm going to share with you today is starting at day 11 of the book series. So a book that I've researched, where I'll share the title, the authors, a summary of the book and the key points that they make in that book, as well as journal prompts that you can use to go a bit deeper. So if you do resonate with any of the topics on any of the days, then this is one of the ways that you can do so. And you can also clearly Google that topic and see what other books come up if you don't like the one that I've shared. But the process itself is what enables you to really expand and discover things. You can even set up your own, book club and choose one of these books and share your experience of the information, what it means to you with a group of people. And sometimes we do that when we facilitate that in our coaching programs. So day 11 is Awakening Creativity, and the book that I chose for this is The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. Cameron says that The Artist's Way is a 12-week course designed to help readers recover their creativity from a variety of blocks, including limiting beliefs, fear, self-sabotage, jealousy, guilt, addictions, and other inhibiting forces. Cameron introduces two main tools: the morning pages. These pages are streams of consciousness writing done first thing in the morning, and the Artist Day, a weekly solo expedition to explore something fun and interesting. The book is divided into weekly chapters, each focusing on a different aspects of creative recovery, such as recovering a sense of safety, identity, power, and integrity, and possibility. So the key points that she makes is creativity is a spiritual practice that can be cultivated through daily habits. Morning pages help us clear our mind and tap into the subconscious. Artist states refill the creative well and inspire new ideas. Identifying and challenging limiting beliefs is crucial for creative growth. Creativity flourishes in an atmosphere of curiosity, play, and experimentation. Now, number 5 on that list is a really interesting one. So in the work that I've done with a variety of people, is the antithesis to creativity is stress, living in environments that are toxic, unsafe, toxic workplaces. These can really inhibit the creative flow. Also, our energy levels play a part, that we need to make sure we drink the right things, the right food, have the right amount of rest and sleep, as all contributions to allowing the creativity. And if you think you're not creative, pretty much everyone is. You know, it might be that you create a new dish, that you're writing a book, you knit, there's all sorts of ways to be creative and how that can manifest. But what makes us more receptive and open to ideas is when we live in a place of calm, peace, and stillness more of the time, and remove ourselves from drama and people and situations that impact our mood and states. And I've had this happen with a few clients. At the moment, they may have been in a relationship for a while and kind of ticking along, coasting, or even not facing the issues that come up in that relationship. And the moment they make a decision to step forward and get on with their lives, the creative process is almost like being holding an elastic band back and then shooting forward, and them being overwhelmed with all the different creative ideas that come. And then we have to work on how do you then prioritize and put those into your week and create some goals. But initially, creativity can be stifled by all those sorts of things. So it is really important. And as you know, with children, when they're curious and play, they can experiment and create all sorts of things. And it's beautiful to witness that with small children. So the journal prompts for this are: write about a time when you felt most creative and alive. What elements contributed to that experience? List 5 creative activities you enjoyed as a child. How might you incorporate those elements into your adult life? Describe your ideal creative space. What would it look like, feel like, and contain? I worked with a client a few years ago. Her space was amazing. She was very crafty. She had craft stuff all over her desk, and she had vases that she'd made and calendars over, and she was in our coaching group, and she was utterly inspiring to the other women, and it was just great because she exuded just that inspiration and creativity. And so sometimes if you're feeling a bit down in the dumps and dull, it can help to go to something where other people are there who are feeling inspired, because, you know, energy transmits, doesn't it? We pick up on the energy and the atmosphere of places that we go to. So if you like that, like and subscribe to my page and help my page grow so that I can carry on being creative. So day 12, resilience. So the book is Resilience, How to Grow Unshakable Core of Calm, Strength and Happiness by Rick Hanson. So Hanson is a neuropsychologist who presents a science-based approach to building resilience. He argues that we can hardwire happiness, love, and inner peace into our brains by focusing on positive experiences. The book is divided into 4 sections, each addressing the key aspects of resilience: recognizing, resourcing, regulating, and relating. Hanson provides practical exercises and meditations to help readers develop 12 vital inner strengths, including grit, gratitude, confidence, and intimacy. And it's interesting because over the last 10 years, words like grit and resilience really came to the forefront of the mental health field when we're thinking about the kind of things that support people even when they're going through hard times or have come through backgrounds of trauma. And the grit is a kind of attitude and a way that often synonymous with Northerners, actually, working class Northerners in the UK, about that grit attitude, just get out there, doesn't matter what the weather is, and just make things happen. So resilience can be cultivated through specific mental exercises and practices. Positive neuroplasticity allows us to rewire our brains for greater well-being. So going back to what I said about one of the previous books is, where attention goes, energy flows, and where we focus and put our mind, especially if we've got circular thinking, we are obsessed with someone, something, work, or a situation that's happened, and that is, sort of negative self-talk, then finding something else to focus on and getting really focused in that can help release ourselves from those mental pathways and start to rewire our brains and activate different centers in the brain and the neurons that move from each of those centers. So mindfulness is a key tool for building resilience. And we know in meditation research, I think Greg Braden talked about it with his research with the monks, is that they showed that with the meditation that they did, they'd actually increased more grey matter in the prefrontal cortex, which is vital in the cognitive faculties that we need to live from day to day. So self-compassion enhances our ability to bounce back from adversity. So even if we think we've made mistakes, done things wrong, and had really difficult times, being compassionate to yourself, not just to the other people, is really vital. And strong relationships are crucial for developing resilience. So the journal prompts are: describe a challenging situation that you overcame. What personal strengths did you draw from? Write about a recent positive experience in detail and how you can savor the experience to reinforce its impact. So some of the work that I've done with clients is, in particular, if you are somebody that has struggled in life, had a lot of anxiety, depression, low mood, and kind of lived on the periphery and found it difficult to engage in life, found it daunting, or if experienced things like burnout, it can be really difficult to come back from or move on from those experiences because they're influenced by so many different things: internal dialogue, mindset, past experiences that have been really traumatic. So when somebody starts to take small steps and make some changes, is within that you can have something called peak experiences that give you an experience for a few hours or a day that just felt really good. And you might go back to being depressed, you might oscillate between those cycles and emotions, but you won't be flatlining anymore, but you'll feel the oscillation. So what's really good is had a client tell me about a lot of changes that they'd had recently, and things that had happened organically, spontaneously. People had come around, they'd had some really good fun times, and even though they were a little bit tired, it was a different tired from the burnout that they'd experienced in the past, and they really had enjoyed the time that they'd spent over those days. And so what we talked about is, as Abraham Hicks talks about, is how you milk those experiences rather than milking the negative mindset and things that go through our head, which we tend to do as human beings, is to really keep going over and over again of the holiday that you had, how it felt to be walking in the sea, on the beach, going for swims, feeling that freedom and relaxation and no sense of time and wonder, or the time that you had with friends at the weekend at the theatre, you laughed loads, and reflecting on that. And that, as we know from the neuropsychiatry research, is actually you can see those parts of the brain that are constantly lighting up. So over time, with consistent effort, you can actually start to change your experiences on the inside. It's really quite interesting how that starts to happen. And a lot of the tools that I talk about, that they talk about in these books that I've applied in my life, have actually had that impact on me, where I've moved from those dark spaces of depression or stress or just being utterly overwhelmed and stressed at work. I've had to apply a lot of these things because it's, if you can, it's not great to live in those states, certainly not long term, because it has such a massive impact on health. So identify a current challenge in your life and what resources, internal and external, can you draw from to face this challenge resiliently. So again, that's about looking at where you've gone through challenges in the past and what helped you. What resources did you have? Was it that you had access to a phone helpline, friends around you? Who could you draw support from? And what kind of attitude or mindset, did you take to that situation? So if you like this, like and subscribe to my page. Day 13, Reclaiming Your Voice. The book is The Right to Speak, Working with the Voice, Patsy Rodenberg. So the idea that Rodenberg talks about, world-renowned voice coach, explores the physical and psychological aspects of finding and using one's authentic voice. The book explores the practical exercises with the insights on how our voices are shaped by our experiences and society. Rodenberg argues that everyone has a right to speak and to be heard, and provides techniques to overcoming physical and emotional blocks to free the natural voice. The book covers breathwork, physical awareness, vocal exercises, and strategies for speaking in various contexts. So the key points made in this book is our voice is intimately connected to our sense of self and personal power. Physical tension and emotional blocks can restrict the natural voice. Breathwork is fundamental to freeing and strengthening the voice. Awareness of body language and posture can affect the voice production. Finding one's authentic voice is a journey of self-discovery and empowerment. And as I've said in previous videos, if you're struggling to communicate and there's things that you find hard to share with people, then practice doing that. Go and see a therapist or a coach and practice doing that so that you can just start to experience what that's like, especially, if you've been shy and inhibited all your life. So the journal prompts are: recall a time where you felt truly heard. What enabled you to express yourself authentically in that moment? So we talk about this a lot in counselling training, especially in the first year where you're learning the skills. And the skills are based mostly on Carl Rogers' approach to the creating the right conditions to enable somebody to feel safe, to express themselves and whatever is going through their mind. And over time, it takes time, especially if we have shame and guilt associated with it. But with the right person, of moving into that space and experiencing being heard, maybe for the first time, can help you develop confidence and can feel like that's becoming easier and easier as you do that. So number 2, write about a situation where you wish you had spoken up. We've all done that. You kick yourself afterwards and think, I wish I would have said something. And what held you back? How might you approach a similar situation differently in the future? So for a lot of the young people that I work with and adults that had grown up in houses where there was abuse, aggression, maybe narcissistic parents, some of the coping mechanisms are to shut down in those environments. And that's a coping mechanism that helps you stay safe and survive. But as we get older, we've got to find new tools and techniques to be able to now start to speak more authentically. But it can feel quite stressful as you start to do that, because the time in which you shut down was exactly the time when all that stress was happening in your environment. So number 3, describe your voice as if it was a character. What are their strengths, quirks, and areas for growth? So day 14, developing and strengthening intuition. So the book on that is called The Intuitive Way, A Definitive Guide to Increasing Your Awareness by Penny Pearce. So sorry, I've just lost my book. Right, so the summary on this is: Pearce provides a comprehensive guide to understanding and developing intuition. She defines intuition as a way of knowing that goes beyond logical thinking and argues it's an innate ability that we all possess. The book offers a 10-week program of exercises and techniques designed to increase intuitive awareness. Pearce covers the topics such as the nature of intuition, how to recognize intuitive information, overcoming blocks to your intuition, and applying intuitive skills in daily life to decision making. And what I talked about, the overarching theme of the work that I'm doing on the 30-day program is really, it's key to develop your intuition, to work out what strengths you've got, what skills, what gifts, where you struggle, but also what feels right, doesn't feel right. And that would be a great book to start with. So the key points in there is intuition is a natural human capacity that can be developed with practice. Quieting the logical mind is essential for accessing intuitive insights, just as we talked about creativity. Physical sensations, emotions, and sudden thoughts can all be forms of intuitive information. Trusting and acting on intuitive insights strengthens the intuitive muscle. Intuition can be applied to enhance creativity and decision making and problem solving. So the journal prompts for that are: describe a time you had a strong intuitive feeling. Did you act on it? What was the outcome? Write about resistance or skepticism you feel towards intuition. Where might these feelings come from? And for the next 24 hours, pay attention to intuitive hunches you experience and record them and reflect on their accuracy. And that can really make a difference if you start keeping a journal and you record any ideas or insights that come to you. It's kind of like giving permission to your mind and your subconscious mind that you are open and receptive to receiving more insights. So like and subscribe to my page if you like what I'm sharing. Day 15, forgiveness. The book Forgiveness, 21 Days to Forgive Everyone for Everything by Ilana Van Zandt. So Van Zandt presents a 21-day forgiveness program designed to help readers release resentment and cultivate inner peace. She argues that forgiveness is a gift that we give ourselves, not something we do for others. The book combines personal anecdotes, spiritual wisdom, and practical exercises to guide readers through to the forgiveness process. Van Zandt addresses various aspects of forgiveness, including self-forgiveness, forgiving family members, and dealing with betrayal and loss. The key points in the book are: forgiveness is a process of releasing ourselves from the pain of the past. Holding on to resentment harms us more than the person who wronged us. Self-forgiveness is crucial to healing and personal growth. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning harmful actions and maintaining toxic relationships. Practicing forgiveness can lead to improved mental and physical health. And I've got a worksheet on how to recognize signs and symptoms of toxic relationships, how to release yourself from them, but also the kind of behaviors someone will deploy when they want to influence you, not to leave them. So the journal prompts for that are: write a letter to someone that you need to forgive. And as we said before, you don't have to send it. Express your feelings and why you choose to forgive. Reflect on one mistake that you've made and how you can practice self-forgiveness in this situation. Describe how your life might change if you were able to fully forgive everyone who has hurt you. So day 16, nurturing and developing relationships. So the 7 principles for making marriage work by John Gottman and Nan Silver. So while the title focuses on marriage, Gottman's principles apply to close relationships. Based on years of scientific research, Gottman identifies 7 principles to help relationships thrive: enhancing love maps, nurturing fondness and admiration, turning towards each other, accepting influence, solving solvable problems, overcoming gridlock, and creating a shared meaning. The book provides practical exercises and techniques for implementing these principles, as well as the warning signs of a relationship in trouble. So the key points within that book are: small daily interactions build a strong foundation for relationships. Effective conflict resolution involves compromise and accepting influence from your partner. Creating shared goals and values enhance relationship satisfaction. Expressing appreciation and fondness regularly strengthens emotional connections. Understanding your partner's inner world, their love map, is crucial for intimacy. Journal prompts are: write 3 qualities that you admire in your partner or a close friend. Have you expressed your appreciation for those qualities recently? Reflect on a recurring conflict in one of your relationships and how you might approach this differently using Gottman's principles. And describe an ideal vision of a fulfilling relationship. What steps can you take to move closer to that vision? So if you like that, like and subscribe to my page, and anyone who makes a comment on any of my videos has a chance of winning a 2-hour session with me in January and February. Day 17, Embracing Change. The book is Who Moved My Cheese by Spencer Johnson. So the algorithm tale follows 4 characters, 2 mice named Sniff and Scurry, and 2 little people named Hem and Haw. We live in a maze and search for cheese. When the cheese supply runs out, each character reacts differently to the change. Through their experiences, Johnson illustrates the different approaches to change and provides insights on how to adapt successfully. The book emphasizes the importance of anticipating, accepting, and adapting to change in both work and life. The key points made in this book are change is inevitable, and anticipating and preparing for it leads to better outcomes. Holding on to old ways in new situations can be counterproductive. Fear of change can be more paralyzing than change itself. Adapting quickly to change can lead to new opportunities and personal growth. And a positive attitude towards change can make the transition easier and more successful. So the journal prompts are: describe a significant change you've experienced. How did you handle it? And what did you learn from that experience? Write about a change that you're currently resisting. What fears or beliefs are holding you back? Imagine your life for 5 years from now, and if you embrace change fully, what might be different? Day 18. Finding strength through vulnerability. The book is Daring Greatly by Brené Brown. Brown challenges the cultural myth that vulnerability is a weakness and argues that it is, in fact, a truth, our most accurate measure of courage. Drawing on 12 years of research, she explains how vulnerability is both the core of difficult emotions like fear, grief, and disappointment, and the birthplace of love, belonging, joy, empathy, innovation, and creativity. The book explores how we can cultivate the courage to be vulnerable in our relationships, careers, and personal lives. And the key points are: vulnerability is not a weakness, but rather a measure of courage and strength. Shame resilience is key to embracing vulnerability. Vulnerability is essential for authentic connection and creativity. Perfectionism is a shield against vulnerability and ultimately holds us back. And cultivating a sense of worthiness is crucial for living wholeheartedly. So the journal prompt is: describe a time when being vulnerable led to a positive outcome. How did it feel before, during, and after? Write about an area of your life where you struggle to be vulnerable. What fears or beliefs contribute to this struggle? Reflect on a recent interaction where you put up emotional armor, and how might this outcome have differed if you'd allowed yourself to be vulnerable? Day 19, Letting Go. The book is The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. So while we've discussed this book before, the context of developing awareness is highly relevant to the topic of letting go. Tolle argues that most human suffering comes from living in the past or future rather than the present moment, and provides practical strategies for releasing attachment, thoughts, and emotions. And the key points made in that book are: attachment to thoughts and emotions create suffering. The present moment is key to inner peace and spiritual enlightenment. Letting go of identification with the mind allows for greater presence and clarity. Acceptance of what is rather than resistance leads to peace. And forgiveness and letting go of the past are essential to living in the moment. So the journal prompts for this are: identify something that you are having trouble letting go. What would your life look like if you were able to release this completely? Write about a time when you successfully let go of something like a grudge or a possession or a belief, and how did that feel and what did you learn? Practice a 5-minute mindfulness exercise and afterward reflect on any thoughts or emotions that you noticed yourself holding to during the practice. So if you like this information, like and subscribe to my page and make a comment on any of my videos and have a chance of winning a session with me in January and February. Day 20, Awakening Inner Wisdom. The book is Awakening Intuition by Mona Lisa Schultz. So Dr. Schultz is a neuroscientist and a medical intuitive, combining scientific research with intuitive insights that explore how we can tap into our inner wisdom. She argues that intuition is a natural function of the brain and body working together and provides exercises to help readers develop their intuitive abilities. The book covers topics such as biology of intuition, how emotions affect health, and how to use intuition for a better decision-making and problem-solving process. The key points within the book are: intuition is a natural human capacity rooted in biology. Our bodies often know the truth before the conscious mind does. Developing intuition involves learning to listen to subtle physical emotional cues, and regular meditation and mindfulness practice can enhance our intuitive abilities. Trusting and acting on intuitive insight strengthens our intuitive muscle. So the journal prompts for this are: recall a time when you had a strong gut feeling about something. Did you listen to it and what was the outcome? Write about any physical sensations you associate with intuitive insights, goosebumps, stomach butterflies, and when you've experienced these recently. And reflect on current dilemma in your life and set aside a logical analysis. What does your intuition tell you about the situation? So hopefully you'll experience, even if you don't buy the book, you can do the journal prompts and think about the key points that I've made about each book as providing you with a rich foundation for the next 10 days of the 30-day program, focusing on your personal growth and self-discovery. So as I've said in the introduction, make sure you've got a journal and you can use just the key points in that. What ideas come from that? Write down anything that comes to mind. Write in response to the journal prompts. Keep that journal, and then maybe once a week or every Saturday or Sunday, look back at your journal. What have you wrote? And sometimes we get more insights, so it kind of takes that awareness to a deeper layer. So thank you for listening. Like and subscribe to my page, and I look forward to sharing more book insights, summaries and key prompts for you for your journals with you.